Friday. Happy Friday. Okay, so the purpose of today's live is to go over what options you have as a homeowner if you are not able to cover your mortgage payments. If you are going through financial hardship and you cannot pay your mortgage, you do have options. Hold on one second. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. He wants to sit on my lap during the live. Say hi. This is Cookie. Say hey, buddy. Hi, Cookie. Say hi. Okay, so to start this off, my name is Stephanie Jules. I'm a real estate agent. I'm licensed in Florida. I service Broward and Palm Beach County. And yeah, so this live is really just, again, talking about what to do if you are facing financial hardship and you are unable to cover your mortgage payments. And then I'm gonna also talk about what foreclosure is, what a short sale is, what your options are, etc., etc. Okay, so I did write some notes here just so I can make sure that I get everything that I want to talk about. The first thing I'm going to talk about is foreclosure. If you don't know what foreclosure basically is the process that a lender takes to, it's a legal process that a lender will take to take the home from you if you miss several payments, and this can take several months. Oh, it's not just after one late payment. It can take several months in order for them to even go through with that process, and it can take a couple of months for them to even start that process. Okay, so it's not something that happens overnight. It does take a couple of months. All right. um can your these are questions that I have gotten that I wrote down, working with people who are either facing financial hardships and are not able to pay their mortgage, and people who are actively in a foreclosure and is wondering what their options are while they're in that foreclosure. So a question that I get often when someone is going under foreclosure is if their home can be sold while their home is in foreclosure. So your home can be sold in most cases while it is in the foreclosure, as long as that sale has not been made yet. So as long as the process either just started, like let's say you just received the foreclosure notice, you can start the process of selling your home. But I will say that the sooner you start, so as soon as you, hi, how, what state, as you guys come in, I would love to know where you guys are coming in from. But anyways, as soon as you realize that you are facing financial hardship and you are not going to be able to keep up with paying your mortgage, you should figure out or explore your options as soon as possible. Okay, so yes, you can sell your home if it is about to be foreclosed on, or if it already has been foreclosed on. But again, the sooner you start the process of, okay, well, I can't pay for my mortgage right now, so what can I do? The better. Okay. So the other questions that I get a lot is about loan modification. So one thing that you can do if you are struggling financially or going through financial hardship and are not able to make either can assist you with. So a loan modification basically is you calling the lender and explaining your situation to them, and then you ask them to, well, you ask them for the loan so able to pay it, so you don't go under foreclosure. Another question that I get a lot is what to do when the mortgage company calls. So I know your first instinct, and I understand that you're afraid, or you just don't want to deal with it, or you just want to ignore it and hope that it goes away. But the reality is that you do have to pay your mortgage, you are going to get a call from the mortgage lender. So your best bet is to answer the call, explain to them exactly what is going on, tell them that you are going through a financial hardship, so that they can explore your options with you, and they can tell you exactly what options that you have, so that you don't go under foreclosure. Because one thing that I tell my customers all the time is, imagine you've been living in a home for years, whatever many years is, let's say 5 years, and you've built equity on that home, and then now there's either a death in the family, or you're going through a divorce, or you lost your job, or whatever that hardship may be, whatever throws at you, because life be lifing. Now if you stop paying your mortgage and your house get foreclosed on, you and the bank takes your home, you lose all of that equity that you've built over the 5 years. So in order to get ahead of it, your best bet is going to be to speak with someone, talk to your mortgage lender, let them know what's going on, let them know that you are facing a financial hardship at the moment, so you can explore your options. And if push comes to shove, you can sell your home and gain that equity, pay the loan back, and get that equity back to you. Okay, so yes, do not ignore the mortgage lender's calls, because the sooner you speak with them, the sooner you explain your situation, the more options that you realize that you have, and the more options, or the easier it will be to come up with a plan. Once you know your options, then you can really figure out, okay, well, I have these options, and then you can sit down and think about what route you want to go. But if you wait too long, now you don't have as many options as you probably would have, and you're gonna feel that pressure. Okay. Another usually take once the process starts. um and it varies state to state. I live in Florida and I serve South Florida, and it's different. Okay, but it can take several months for that process to start. But don't wait last minute. Do not wait last minute. Don't wait until you are on your last leg to reach out for help, to ask for help, to call your mortgage lender. Do it as soon as you realize, I am not going to be able to afford paying my mortgage anymore. You call your mortgage lender and you ask them for help. Welcome to everyone that's joining. Okay. So another question that I get, and feel free, if you guys have any questions at all, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Another question that I get often is, what if you owe more than your home is worth? Don't freak out, because this does happen. You are upside down on your loan. Your home is worth less than what you owe on your loan. If that does happen, you can do something called a short sale. And when you do that, that's basically the bank being okay with or accepting less than what the loan amount is, because you are going through a financial hardship. Now, usually this is something that is going to require documentation. So it's not something you can just call up and say, okay, well, this is what I need. You're going to it has to be documented that you are going through a financial hardship, and it has to show that the home is worth less. So you'll have to get the home appraised to show that the home is worth less than what your loan is. But it is an option that you can do, which is, it should be like, again, selling your home should be the last option if you are financially struggling, because you want to keep your home. You want to continue to build that equity. So if you can do other things like forbearance, loan modification, or even deferment, I would say to look at those routes first, and then if none of those routes work for you, or let's say you've exhausted those routes, or let's say your mortgage lender tells you that those routes are not possible for you, then the next step is going to be, okay, let me sell my home. All right. So another question that I usually get is, when should I call a realtor? When is a realtor needed in this process? So once you've contacted your mortgage lender and they've explored all of your options with you, if you don't like any of those options are not feasible for you, or let's say you just want to sell the home and do something else, then is when you should call a realtor and ask for their advice. Ask them what your like give you an official, but in the state of Florida, we can tell you what your home is the value of your home depending on the recent sales in the area. So that is when you're going to want to call a realtor, is when once you realize, okay, I'm not able to pay my mortgage anymore, I'm going through this hardship, and I don't like any of the options that the mortgage lenders have given me, or they're not giving you any options, then it's like, okay, well, let me call a realtor to see what my options are with them. One thing that I want to say, like, the number one thing that is motivating me, or has motivated me to touch on this topic, is that I live in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida, or the state of Florida is number one in the country when it comes to foreclosures. So that just tells me that people don't know what their options are when it comes to foreclosures or financial hardships, and or if they're not able to pay their mortgage. And the thing is that you do have options if you are going through hardships. You don't have to ignore your mortgage lender, or you don't try to ignore the problem until it goes away, because that's what makes matters worse. Okay, so if you are dealing with a mortgage hardship, or if you are dealing with foreclosures, I want you to reach out to me. I want you to know that number one, you have options, and feel free to reach out to me, because I do have a consumer guide that breaks down all of the options that all of the options that you have as a homeowner experiencing financial hardship, and I'm happy to just help you understand the process, and we can really just go from there.